It's my first video on this channel. I just wanted to say hi and welcome to my channel if you're visiting, and also give you a deck profile for the Dark Magician deck that I've been testing. Now, I'm using quite a few cards that are a little unconventional. Most people probably wouldn't agree with, but let's dive into it. So to start, I run 3 Dark Magicians. Yes, 3 different artworks. 2 Dark Magician girls, because I don't know, a lot of people run 1. I think 2's necessary just for some of the combos in this deck. Palladium Oracle mana. She's pretty busted, especially if you can get her in the grave. 3 copies of Magician's Rod, because this card alone is the key engine part of the deck. Now, some people have been running this, some people haven't. I run 2 Apprentice Illusion Magician just for consistency, really. Like, she's like a 1-for-1 basically. Like, I discard 1 to summon her, and then I take Dark Magician. So, I mean, you can't really normal summon her without a tribute, but I think she's necessary. And this is another unconventional card that I'm running. It's a Chocolate Magician Girl. I run her for consistency purposes. This deck struggles with consistency in this format. It can't really keep up the speed with most of these decks out there. So that's why I run 1 of her just for an extra good spellcaster monster. She helps me to just dump a card in the graveyard, which is very necessary sometimes. A discard effect is really effective in this deck. And she helps me just maintain it by drawing 1. Plus, you know, her second effect, I get to summon a spellcaster from my graveyard if she gets attacked. So it's really good in my opinion. This is another card I've been testing. It's not like for certain. Dark Grepher. I've been debating between him and Armageddon Knight, because Dark Grepher gets 2 of my darks in the graveyard, which is really effective at times. It's done well so far. Armageddon Knight just does 1, and he's kind of weaker. So I don't know. I think I'm leaning towards Dark Grepher, and also 1 DD Crow just for an allure target, and I need a hand trap in this deck. And this is a better one than Ash or Droll and Lockbird, just because I have my allure target. Okay, that's it for the monsters. Now for the spells. I run, and don't mind the non-foiled out deck, I'm still testing. 3 Magician Circles, just because this is the essential part of the engine. I run 2 Beautifully Ultimate Allures. I only run 2 Soul Servants, just for consistency purposes. I run 2 Secrets of the Dark Magic, because that card is just absolutely busted. But you don't want to run 3 because consistency reasons, but you don't want to run 1 because you want to be able to get off your combos. I run 2 Dark Magic Inheritance, because this card, I think it's really good. You shuffle through a lot of spells, and they also want to get rid of your circle, so it's like, I don't feel like it's ever like a dead card unless you open up with like 2 of them. A lot of people haven't been running this, but I run 1 Dark Magic Veil, mainly because I use a lot of graveyard pitching effects. Grepher, Chocolate Magician Girl, like there's a lot of discard effects. So I feel like it's necessary to run Dark Magic Veil, especially if my Dark Magicians goes to the grave. I can summon, you know, 2 Dark Magicians, and I can just, bam, Monster Reborn it, basically. I run 1 Upstart Goblin, and 1 Foolish Burial, because it's very important to dump cards in this deck. 1 Pot of Duality, because this card is very effective in this deck. Like, people haven't been running this, and it's so effective. I'm actually thinking about running 2, maybe 3. I'm still testing, but this is a consistent build that I've found so far that's been able to win more than the other builds that I've tried to mirror from other people. and 1 Secret Village. This card, I thought about running 2, but I feel like it's easy to get dead hands in this deck, so I'm only running 1 Secret Village. So it's a very good card to combo. Now for the traps. Run 3 Navigation. Some people run 1, some people run 2. I think 3 is very necessary because you want this in your graveyard, and it's very easy to get Dark Magician in your hand, especially with the Apprentice Illusion, and that maintains your consistency. And 2 Eternal Soul, because the combo between this card and Skill Drain is just insane. It's just insanely broken in my opinion, especially if you combine it with Secret Village and or Dark Magic Secrets, or Secrets of the Dark Magic for fusion. This combo is just dumb. This is another card a lot of people haven't been running, but I think it's very important. People underrate some cards, and that's Dark Renewal. This card right here has won me games. Your opponent summons a monster, and if I have Rod on the field, who's basically just a dead card for them to just trample over, bam, as soon as they summon or special summon, I sacrifice their card and mine, and I can summon a Dark Magician, basically. It's a very, very good card. And then Torrential Tribute for field control. I run 1 Solemn. This Solemn is very important. This 1 Solemn, because there's so many decks that 4,000 life points doesn't even compare to what this can stop. So my 1 Skill Drain, because this deck requires Skill Drain at this point. And these last 2 cards are very unconventional, cards that a lot of you probably don't even know about. I played Yu-Gi-Oh in the beginning, and I just came back recently and started testing Dark Magician. I topped the Jump, Shonen Jump Indie, I do believe it was 2008. My mom yelled at me because I drove all the way to Indy when I was 17, and she was scared to death. But I ended up topping the Jump, playing Adam Korn in the first round. I lost to him. He was a pro player, if you guys don't know who he is. He don't play anymore, but he's been around since the very, very beginning of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I lost to him 2-1 in the top 16. But I ended up topping, and I met a bunch of cool friends, and I left with over $300 in stuff that I made, as far as playing people for money, hustling cards, and whatnot. But anyway, so these are cards that have been around since the very beginning. Life Force Sword. This is a famous Yugi card. A lot of you might question this. A lot of these turns, like in the game now, the game's changed so much, most duels don't even last 4 turns, and this is a 4-turn effect. Basically, I target 1 random card in my opponent's hand and put it face down from the game for 4 turns. Most games do not last 4 turns. I'm basically discarding a card. By the time they get it, they probably don't even need it at that point unless it's a broken card. And if it is a broken card, then I skipped it for 4 turns. And then Magic Jammer. This came out in the beginning of Yu-Gi-Oh! And people are underrating this. I feel like it's very important in Dark Magician deck because I get my discard. I can discard a card, dump 1 to the graveyard, any card really. My spell graveyard effects, I could get Dark Magician in the graveyard, Palladium, a lot of good cards I can just randomly discard to negate a spell. And it's a counter. So it's very, very good and effective. Most people, I wouldn't run more than 1, but I definitely think at least 1's necessary. So that's it for my traps. I'm trying to maintain my consistency here. Okay, for my extra deck, I think it's very important to run the Dark Magicians. I'm debating 2 copies of that. My extra deck's not fully complete, but alright, here we go. Dark Magician Dragon Knight, mainly because I'm gonna side deck Eye of Timaeus, just for testing purposes. Same with Amulet Dragon for when I side deck Eye of Timaeus. Norito, he's very, very, very good in this deck. Red Eyes Metal Flare Dragon. Also, Nightmare Unicorn. Sorry for the different card sleeves because I'm actually using these in a different deck right now. But Nightmare Unicorn is very effective. I feel like it's a staple in the extra deck now. as well as Nightmare Phoenix. I think another very important card, Trigate Wizard. He's very, very, very good. Another card that I think is really effective in this deck, Mud Dragon of the Swamp. And as far as my extra deck, that's all I have right now. But there's other cards that you should be running in Dark Magician. As far as I'm only missing 2 Ebon Illusion Magicians. Those are part of the essentials to this deck as well. And I would also say Blackluster Soldier is very, very important. And the rest of the extra deck is pretty much up for you to shuffle and test different cards.